Hi guys. I was gonna go and finish up talking with you on my way home from work, but it's currently 8:30, probably actually later than that now, and well, it's dark, and I had to go run and grab Alex. He went out for a run with his friend, so I picked him up because they didn't finish the run. They went and talked and do what 17-year-old boys do. Anyhow. When I was talking to you last, I was telling you about uh, the phone call that I had with Robert's neurologist when he was diagnosed with PMG. Um, he had told me to go online and do some Googling and uh, just familiarize myself with stuff. That way I could put together a list of questions that I may have when we were to have his follow-up appointment. Um, So I did, and God, that was scary. The the information is very sparse when you Google PMG, and they always give you the worst case scenarios. Uh, but they also give some great links to different forums and support groups, which put me in touch with some amazing, amazing parents who have PMG kiddos. Uh, it's amazing to see the milestones that they are able to reach, um, to see them grow and to hear the stories of accomplishments. But there's also a flip side to that. You see these kiddos passing away at such a young age. And you see the frustration and the complete terror in other parents. And it's a double-edged sword, I suppose you would say. Um, so anyhow, I went and I did do the research, and there was more questions than answers at the end of the day when we left the uh, follow-up appointment. Um, a lot of these children have life-changing conditions that go along with the PMG. And so far for Robert, that has been cerebral palsy, autism. Um, but there's also the worry of if he's going to develop epilepsy. Knock on wood, he has yet to have done that, and the doctors are hopeful that he's not going to. Um, and a lot of these children are on feeding tubes and ventilators, and so it is kind of scary seeing what could happen. I had mentioned earlier that when he goes and gets a new diagnosis, that I kind of do a mourning, and that's because when you bring a baby into this world, you expect them to grow up and get married and have jobs. Um, you want for them everything in life, uh, and I feel with every diagnosis there's a sense of what could I have done different? What could I have um, possibly done to make him this way? There's guilt beyond being able to describe. Um, my conscious mind knows that I didn't do anything, but it's still that wonder, that what if, that what could I have possibly done different? And then there's also the wonder of, is he going to have a fulfilled life? Is he going to find something that captivates him that he can go and do for employment? Is he gonna have longevity? Is he ever going to be able to live on his own? Is he going to have these side effects that I see in other individuals? So there's definitely more questions than answers. We've had to talk about life expectancy, which is kind of a big pill, a very big jagged pill to swallow as a parent. The fact of the matter is his lungs aren't good, his diaphragm's not good, his intestines don't work as they should. He has a compromised immune system. He has difficulty chewing. That's one of the things that we have noticed all along, is that when he chews, it's hard for him to move the muscles accordingly, and he makes kind of a loud noise. Not that he's trying to, be obnoxious or anything, which, some people had mentioned that in passing in the last 17 years, that he was doing that just to, get attention, and mainly that was the school system. Like I said, when he was in elementary, they were kind of lackluster. Now they're fantastic. The high school is fantastic. Anyhow, so yeah, those are the harder parts of having a handy capable kiddo. There are certain things that I wish that I didn't have to fear. But I do. I have to realistically fear certain things. And one of those big things is him passing away. I have this bad habit. So Robert's always woken up before the sun is even up. And he's done that forever. Part of that reason is because when he was younger, he would have to get enemas and suppositories and digestive tract massaging just so he can produce a bowel movement. So it became a habitual thing. And I find myself having anxiety over if he sleeps late, going into his room, because I don't know if he's just sleeping late because he's a teenage boy, or if because it was his time. And that's something that I have so much anxiety over. I also find myself having anxiety over his future. And what does that look like? God forbid, if something were to happen to me, what would that look like for him? I am very thankful that I have a great support system. And I know that his siblings and the rest of our family are going to gather around him. But at the end of the day, I'm mom, and I'm the one who does the physical therapy with him in the mornings. I'm the one who stretches him out. Believe it or not, I'm 5'5". He's almost 6 foot. I have to stretch out those long legs every morning and do joint compressions and the massaging. And I still have to do his belly massages when he's having a hard time having a bowel movement. I'm the one who does all that. I'm the one who cleans up when he's sick, and I'm the one who makes sure that he's eating and getting his breathing treatments when he needs them. And then he goes to the doctors. And so I'm not saying other people aren't capable of doing that for him, because at the end of the day, there are many capable people that love him. But I have a tendency to be a control freak and have some OCD when it comes to the way that his care is taken care of. So yeah, there's so much anxiety and so much guilt. Like I said, I know that I didn't do anything. We've found through some research that one of the causes of PMG is a virus that you can have, the CMV virus. A lot of people test positive for this, and I am CMV free. It's something that stays in your system. I'm a blood donor, and that's something that they test to make sure that your blood can go to infants. So I know that that's not the cause. Another thing could be a genetic mutation. So we've had genetic testing done as well. They took DNA samples from myself, from Robert, and then they typically would take from the father, but seeing how Robert's a twin, the closest link would be his brother. So they did the testing on him. And we primarily wanted to do the testing with Alex as well, because we wanted to see if it was a genetic mutation, if Alex was a carrier. That came back completely normal. And then we're thinking environmental, because a lot of times if you are exposed to something in the environment, they think that that could also lead to this brain deformity. The doctors kind of ruled that out, saying if you were exposed to something in the environment that would make this deformity, you would know. You would physically have been affected, and Alex would have been affected as well. Well, I wasn't affected, and neither was Alex, so they kind of ruled that out. Excuse me. So the cause is, we don't know. I have had many conversations. I'm not sure what everyone's religious beliefs are, but I personally believe that there's a God. I yelled at him. I cursed his name. I lost faith for a very long time. And when I sat still enough, I had found out that I was asking questions and not shutting up enough to listen, which is something I'm famous for. I don't like to shut up. So anyways, I wanted to know, how could there be a God? And how could he let such an innocent person go through the trials and tribulations that I have to watch my son go through? I asked, why? Why are there so many heinous people in this world that are walking around healthier than an ox, while these kids are fighting for their breath. At the end of the day, I've kind of come to terms, as we all have to. I believe that he was given to me for a reason. I have not always been the nicest of people. I can be a very, very blunt person and just shoot from the hip. And I've done so in the past, disregarding what somebody else would feel or think. And I do believe that Robbie's a miracle in his own right. But he was brought into this family for a reason. He was brought into this family to teach us patience and love and understanding and compassion and respect. And he has. He's definitely made me a better person. I do think that he was born a twin for a reason as well. I think that they thrive off of each other. I don't think that either one would be nearly as far without the other. They love to hate each other. What siblings don't? But they also love to kind of compete. Alex was the kiddo that was walking at 8 months. Robbie took a lot longer, but he saw his brother doing stuff and he wanted to do it. Robert wanted something that was out of reach. Alex had always been the strong one. He would climb on top of the refrigerator, literally scale the refrigerator to go and get stuff for him. I can recall them being 2 years old, and Alex was literally on top of the refrigerator because I had to hide bread from Robbie. Robbie, still to this day, will eat a loaf of bread in one sitting if I let him. And he was throwing it down to Robbie. Like, Robbie was a duck, and it was the cutest thing. Like, how can you be angry at something like that? So yeah, they definitely have a sibling rivalry that propels them to be better, to do better. Alex is a very compassionate and loving young man. He sticks up for the little guy in life. And so is Robbie. Robbie does the same thing. If he sees somebody who is being ill-treated, he will comment about it and try to rectify it, which is commendable. And I believe that those qualities also were instilled in my daughter, just because she had to grow up in a household with a brother who needed more attention, more support, more love. So yeah, it's a rewarding situation once I was able to step back and, try to count my blessings as opposed to counting my misfortune. Not that it's not without fear, because that's a daily thing. I have a daily fear of the what ifs, the unknowns, the life expectancies, more so with him than I do with my other 2 children. But that's something that we're learning to overcome, and I don't think I'm going to be successful in ever completely overcoming it, to be honest with you. But I do have to say that from my perspective, being a mom is the best thing. I'm very proud of all of my kids. And seeing the determination that Robert has and the want to be more than his diagnosis is uplifting. It's encouraging. And it just fills me to the top with so much pride. I'm just in awe of what he's able to have overcome. And yeah, so I'm tired of crying in your face. I will talk to you all soon. I'm gonna wait for my husband to come home and wake up at 4 to get physical therapy done and head off to work. Night. Talk to you soon.